My name is Ayodeji, Deji for short. If you had asked me at the time what kind of husband I was, I would have answered without hesitation. I would have told you I was responsible, stable, a man who had built something and was maintaining it. And in the ways people could see, that was true. What I didn't understand was that a life can look stable and still be quietly neglected at its center. I met Yemi at a time when things were beginning to work in my favor. Work had stopped being uncertain. Money had stopped embarrassing me. I was starting to feel established. Yemi didn't come into my life trying to impress me. She paid attention. Not the kind that flatters you, the kind that studies you. On our first date, I spoke too much. I knew it. But she didn't interrupt. She stayed present in a way that made me feel understood. And if you're not careful, that feeling can make you believe you understand the person giving it to you. I married her inside that assumption. The early part of our marriage worked. That's the best way to describe it. There was very little friction. Yemi adapted quickly. If I expressed a preference, she adjusted. If I corrected something, it changed. If I set a tone, she aligned with it. At the time, I called it respect. What I didn't question was the absence of resistance. The first moment that should have made me pause didn't. I came home irritated one evening. Dinner wasn't ready when I expected it. I asked her, "What have you been doing all day?" It wasn't a question, it was a dismissal. She looked at me briefly, just long enough for something to register, if I had been paying attention. Then she said, "I'll sort it." And that was the end of it. I moved on. She adjusted. Something shifted. Around that same period, I started spending more time out. At first, it wasn't about women. It was about extension, avoiding stillness, choosing movement. My friends made that easy. Kume believed consistency was a limitation. Sadiq treated marriage like a base, not a boundary. Femi had been through enough marriages to stop believing in permanence. Then there was Tola. Tola said very little, but when he spoke, it stayed with you, if you allowed it to. One night, while the others were talking freely about women, he said, "Be careful what becomes normal to you. That's usually where the damage settles." I heard him. I just didn't think it applied to me, because at that point, nothing looked damaged. Everything was still working. What I didn't realize was this. By the time something looks broken, it has already been broken for a while. I just hadn't reached the part where I would notice it. Please subscribe to our channel, Fable Land Stories, on all platforms.